Twisted Life is a heartfelt love story of pain, despair, and loss. The main character only wants a normal life but cannot have one because of an alien species called the insectoids that seem to be manipulating everything going on in his life. They are the ones behind his time travel abilities and seem to point him in the direction that they want him to go in their experiment. There's fast action, a bit of fun, and lots of imagination in this story of time travel. The story takes place in present day and then goes back and forth a bit, even going back 180 years or so. The places that are mentioned are real and have been documented as being haunted, and according to the storyline, the main character in the story is part of the reasons why. Oh, and did we mention that his mother is an alien who married a human? Anyone who is a fan of Paul's writing can tell you that reading his work is like sitting by the fire pit and having someone tell you a story. Paul looks at himself as a storyteller more than anything else. You can find this book and others by Paul Iesom on Amazon.
There's a touch of madness around here.
All right, boys and girls and creatures of all ages. Guess what time it is? Another episode of Paranormal Proximity. From a dark basement in a ghostly haunted dwelling, somewhere in a black swamp of Northwest Ohio. It's me. I'm your crazy little host, Paul Iesom. And if you're into conspiracy, you know things are about to ramp up. If you're not into conspiracy, then you're about to go, what the hell? And 6 bridges now. 6 bridges have been out. They are cutting the supply lines. But anyway, that's not what the show is about. My guest today got her start with me way back in the day. And she is a narrator of a few books now. Her name is Kat Ward. And welcome to the show, my friend Kat. How the hell are you doing there, lady?
I'm doing well. Thank you, my dear friend. I have to start off by saying that this interview means more to me than you realize. It's because, as you mentioned in the intro, I pretty much got my start with you because you saw something in me that I certainly did not see, and it got me to do the weird news for your show. And so thank you very much for that.
Well, you have come a long way. You really have. You're doing narrating now. Tell us a little bit about your narrating, and who you've done it for, and is it just for Audible?
Yeah. So I'll quickly touch on how I started. So I was kind of bored one day, and I thought, because our friend Brian Anderson does narrations, and I messaged him one day and I said, how can somebody get started into this? And he sent me a link to this website, and I created a profile, put it on Facebook, and my friend JB Coates, who's a paranormal investigator, private messaged me and said she had 4 books out. I didn't even know she was an author. So she says, you are the voice that I've been looking for all these, for a couple of years now. So I thought, great, let's try it out. And I narrated the first chapter and sent it to her just to make sure that, yes, I am the voice that she's looking for. And it was a struggle in the beginning because I had no idea what I was doing.
We all start that way. We never know. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I just thought that narration was recording it and doing a little bit of editing and send it out. Well, Mr. Anderson took me under his wing. He was my mentor and dear friend as well. And he pretty much held my hand for I don't know how many months. It took me 8 months to release the first book because I didn't know what I was doing. Every day we would be doing Skype calls, and I'm like, Brian, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I like? I don't understand. He would send me video tutorials, and I just could not get it. And finally, one day, it's like an epiphany. It's just like, finally, got the book out. It's called Integrity. It's an Obsidian Guardian novel written by J.B. Coates, and I'm working on book 2 right now. And I had another friend reach out to me and said she also has 3 or 4 books, and we're going to discuss that in the near future, and she wants me to narrate her books as well. So it's starting to snowball, thanks to you.
Thanks to me. Well, yeah. I don't know. I didn't have any part in your narration.
You did. You gave me the confidence to be able to go out there and do something that was uncomfortable.
No. That's all you.
Well, you put me on the path.
Well, everybody helps everybody out, but it is all you. Yes, it is. You should give yourself more credit than you're giving yourself.
Well,
Do you ever plan on writing a book?
I've had the thought, but I'm not sure how to execute putting my thoughts onto paper, so to speak. I was supposed to co-author with another friend, but then we just we started not brainwashing, brainstorming, and it just his life got busy, my life got busy. We never really made a go of it yet, but that might be a discussion for the future. I don't know.
Right. Do I know this person?
Yes, it's Justin Cancelleri.
Yeah, it's who I thought it was.
Yeah.
Justin was on my show on my station for a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, so it's good. I've gotten an opportunity to hear some of Kat's narration, and though she's not right for anything that I'm doing at the moment, and I've got the guy that's doing the novels for me for the
he's amazing
at the moment. He is absolutely amazing. I mean, that man can. He went for 2 weeks. He didn't do anything for me, and then I get like 10 chapters all in one day.
Wow.
And I'm going, this guy he's a professional and he's good.
Definitely.
And you already know that in narration business, for every hour that you do, there's at least 2 hours worth of work.
Oh, at least. I didn't realize the challenges as well. You don't realize how noisy your little world is until you have to have absolute quiet, because I just put a little studio in my house. And I tell the family, you need to be quiet, on air.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. And the time depending on the time of year, I'm up here in Ontario, Canada. Sometimes I sit down, I start narrating, and then my neighbor starts either the lawnmower or the snowblower, and that's done. And you think, okay, good. Then another neighbor does it. They can't all seem to do it together. And or the dog will go tick, 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 tick back and forth down the hall, or the family thinks they're being quiet in the kitchen, but the microphone picks everything up and I can hear it. So
does. Especially when you have something like this.
Yeah.
This picks everything up. DJ Cooper, my what the publisher? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My publisher. And there's a few other people, including people that I just know. They say, you've got the voice for it. You've got to do this. Your short story book is your perfect thing to get out there and do this with. But I have this train back here that I have no idea when it's going to run. And in the summertime, these windows in this room have to be open, because if you're not, you will suffocate it will get so hot in here that, and I have to keep this door. This is an extension room that the people before us put in here. So there's a sliding glass door there because it was originally the outside.
Right.
And so I have to keep that closed to try to save money on the air conditioning and all that kind of happy junk. So we don't air condition this room. So you got the sound of the dogs, the geese, the ducks, the neighbors, and at night the crickets get so loud that it's deafening, or cicadas. We get, cicadas really, really super loud here. So I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. This is going to be very challenging.
Yep. It's just the challenges of narration. I've had so many friends, once they saw that I was doing narrating, they would reach out to me and say, hey, I want to get into this. How do I do it? And I said, okay, if you want to get into it, I'll help you as best I can. I'm no pro, but I'll get you on the path. But I have to explain to you what is involved first. And so far, not one person has said, yeah, I want to do that, once they realize how much work is behind it. Because I do my own editing as well. I don't have the money to hire a sound engineer to edit and process and mix down,
$600 an hour or something.
Yeah. And we have a studio in town that I could go rent. But I don't have the funds for that, so I probably could, and it would be totally quiet because I have a proper sound booth, but no, I'm doing it on myself, and that was such a challenge. I mean, so often I would message either Brian or JB in tears saying, I can't do this. This is like, I don't know what I'm doing. And they would talk me off the edge, so to speak. And I'd walk away for a little bit and then come back and do it. And yeah, so I'm so happy that I finished book 1, and I also did a little voiceover work in a movie too. I had like 4 or 5 lines. Yep. Vinny Vineyard has made a whole bunch of movies, and I can't remember what it's called. Camp Smokey. So it's a horror comedy type thing. I really enjoyed the movie. Now I'm on a phone call with one of the characters. I play the role of Lorraine. Yeah. And I'm having a conversation with my ex-husband about our son at the end. And Vinny, when he approached me and said, okay, I need you to be not so much Canadian, try to be an angry American. And he says, I'm sorry, I have to get you to drop the F-bomb a few times too. And I'm like, Vinny, I swear too. Like, he's like, no, you're too nice. You're too nice. I'm like, no, I do. And I think I had to do it 3 or 4 times just until he's like, okay, we got it. But yeah, I had the opportunity to do that as well.
Well, I think from all the stuff that I used to do, the ads and did you see my latest ad for my book?
Yep, I did.
It's learning to read fluently aloud. You can read fluently and go through a book, and it's all good, man. I mean, if you can do that, if you can read, but reading fluently, and then reading fluently when you know that you are being recorded, even if it's just you and you got the option to shut it up, that's so much more difficult.
And breath control. I've never been a smoker, but breath control, I'd be halfway through a sentence and all of a sudden I go, so I have to either restart or see if I can edit that out. It really is difficult, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah, breath control is big, and your S's. Even if you don't think you're going, you still get your, when you say stop or something.
Lots of mouth clicks,
all
everyone does
that it. You have to, so it's going to take some practice before you even sit behind a mic and try it. And then when you do it a paragraph at a time. See if you can go all the way through one paragraph without stopping, without stuttering, without starting to say one word when you meant another, but you just to do it perfectly. And you're going to find you get 10 takes before you even got it accomplished. And that's on a good day.
Yeah. So many times I've messaged JB and said, I cannot pronounce this word properly. It is not coming out. One of them was, because I speak French as well, I'm going to say it in French, it's armoire. So like a wardrobe, armoire. To me, it sounds like I'm going, wow. So I messaged her and I said, I can't for the love of me pronounce the word correctly. So she says, just say it in the French way. Just say it the way that you know how to say it. I'm like, okay. So I had to say armoire because I took, I don't know how many takes trying to say armoire. And it's just so foreign for my mouth to be able to say that word. And there were a few other words too. But that's the one that stands out the most.
So when you're doing this, how much of your own creativity do you put into the work? Or do you just try to do it straight and narrow down the path, if you understand what I'm saying?
So, excuse me, I have my laptop, and to the left I have my monitor. So that's where I have the book to read. And she has given me pretty much creative, what's the word I'm looking for? I can do it however I want. So I'll do one chapter, send it to her and for approval. And sometimes she'll say, you said he instead of she. Could you redo it? Yep, not a problem. Or this part didn't quite sound right, so I redo it. Or she'll say, yeah, it's good to go. And then I will mix it down, process it, But JB and I went from being friends to pretty much being family because we have really it's almost like we can read each other's minds. It's just amazing. She would say, she would have an idea, and we would talk, and I'd say, oh my God, I had that same idea. I wanted to discuss it with you. So when it comes to the characters, because she has characters in her book, of course, we would discuss it at first, and she says, yeah, you've got it down pat. So for the second book that I'm working on, Trepidation, instead of trying to figure out what the characters are, because her and I just seem to be on the same level, I said, how about I just read the chapter and do the character as I feel that it should be, send it to you. And she goes, yeah, that sounds good. And so far I'm hitting it the way that she wants it. So it's just really nice when you can have that creativity. Like she says, do it how you think it should be, and she's agreeing with it. So it's really been an amazing journey with JB.
Yeah. I'm going to have Al on too here shortly too. Not today.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy I'm going to be interviewing. Can't for the life of me remember what his name is. Sorry. He's going to be the next show after yours. And this guy is from across the pond, but he's got the same writing style and sense of humor I do. So,
nice.
I thought that was kind of trippy. I thought I, totally stood out all by myself. I'm a weirdo, and
you are, but we love you. Like I tell people all the time, I've embraced my weirdness a long time ago, and I don't care now.
Oh yeah, I just don't care anymore. I'm to the point I don't care. So, after you get this book done that you're working on currently, do you have anything lined up after that?
Yeah, she has 4 books in total. She plans on having 6 books, and she wants me to be her narrator for all of the books. So I'm working on book 2, and then there's going to be 2 other books by the same author. And like I said, I have another friend who wants to discuss me narrating her books as well. So I have another gig going after this. Whenever she reaches out, she's just really, really busy right now with lots of stuff going on. But yeah, so it just kind of snowballed.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So these are all paranormal?
Yes. Yep. The one for JB, there's characters in it.
Are they just ghost hunters, or tell me a little bit about what the books are?
Okay, so Integrity, it's about, so there's these chosen family that have special abilities. So if one family gets wiped out, for example, the whole world's going to feel it. So there's this one family in particular, they can control the tectonic plates. If they were to get wiped out, the entire family line, then you're going to have all these earthquakes, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So you have these obsidian guardians who are human at night, and they are obsidian gargoyles. So they, during the daytime, they are the protectors of the chosen family. And sometimes the family members don't know that they're being watched, but most of the time their protectors are with them all the time. And while they sleep, the chosen, obviously they protect them as well while they sleep. But it's just I really love the book. So JB told me, read the book first. So after I read it, she messaged me. She goes, well, what did you like it? I'm like, no, I didn't like it. And then I sent another message. I said, I loved it. And she goes, oh, you scared me there for a second. But it's funny too, because I am in no way a prude. She has sex scenes in there that I was so uncomfortable doing, because I kept thinking my parents and my in-laws, they might want to listen to the book. So I had to tell them, please do not purchase the book. And they're like, well, why? I said, because there's sex scenes in it, and they're very religious. And it's like, I don't feel comfortable knowing that you're going to be listening to me going into great detail about some of these sex scenes. And so often I would message JB and say, sister, you need to go to church, because those unclean thoughts, just teasing, of course. But I actually struggled, and so when she listens to her chapters for approval to see if I can just finish and render it, there was one time her husband walked into the room and said, "What are you listening to?" She goes, "This is Kat's chapter that she sent me," and he goes, "I forgot those sex scenes." And JB says, "Yeah, there's a couple of times even I blushed." I'm like, "You blushed? You wrote it." But she says that your voice was able to bring it to life. So she says, yeah, I didn't realize how, I'm like, how nasty you are. But no, we joke around about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
These books are on Amazon.
Yes. The first book is on Audible. If you want to buy the actual hard copy.
Give me the name of the author and give me the name of the book so
Yeah.
that people can go find it.
Of course, yes. It's, the author is J.B. Coates, Coates, and her first book is Integrity. It's based in a town called Integrity. That is available on Audible, but you can also order the actual paperback. That is pretty much, it is on Amazon, but I think it's on other sites as well if you want to buy the book. And Trepidation is the second one. That one takes place in the town of Trepidation. So that one is also, obviously the audiobook's not out, but you can buy that on Amazon or pretty much wherever you find, wherever you can purchase books.
Very cool.
And I can't remember the name of the other two books.
That's all right. I can't remember the name of my damn self sometimes.
But just look for J.B. Coates books, and they'll all come up.
Awesome. So, I forgot where we were going. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, back in the day, this girl here would do like a 6-minute session. She would read stupid news for me. That would play during the intro of my show. If you go and listen to any of my shows, which nobody does anymore because it's ancient news. She would come out with weird news, and there's a big difference between the first one that she did and the last one that she did. First one she did, she was, you could tell she was kind of really super nervous. And then it just started just tiny little bit. Then it started flowing. And, then all the drama happened and I stopped doing what I was doing. And one day I hear out of her that she's going to be narrating books. And I'm going, oh, fuck, I wish I could do that.
You could. You've got a great voice.
I already explained why I can't. At the moment.
The train.
I've got the train and all the other stuff, along with, when somebody shows up and the dogs go off, and which I don't know, should we open? Yeah. This is your show, cool. So should we open this?
No, open it. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm super excited because I ordered the same one. I ordered 2.
You ordered 2 of them.
One for my local library.
Yeah, she was a fan of my work too. So it moved on to that, and I didn't hear from you forever. And then finally, once in a great blue moon, she asked me to be on her podcast and interviewed me. And that's where we haven't gone yet. So why don't you tell me about your show there, little lady?
Certainly. So it's called Paranormal Heart Podcast. I started off about 6 years ago. I started as a paranormal investigator here in the Ottawa Valley in Canada, in Ontario, and started realizing that people who have paranormal activity in their houses, a lot of times their significant other doesn't believe them if they haven't experienced it too. So they would be quiet. And it can actually cause...
Oh, sorry. Fix your sound, sweetie. Yeah.
So it can cause PTSD if someone doesn't understand why they're having this. Sorry, you can edit that out, I hope.
I ain't worried about it. Just keep going.
My son's trying to call. So anyways, I did a couple of podcasts being into it, and I had family and friends say, you have a good voice, you should do podcasting. And my reply each time was, hell no. So when I mentioned that to my husband, he says, why don't you? And I'm like, I don't know, that's just something other people do. So spoke with a couple of friends, and they said, yeah, do it. It took me about a year until I actually released an episode. Because I wanted to get my audio right before, because I didn't know what I was doing again.
Oh, yeah. That's where Brian had to help you one more time. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Chad had her show on my station as well.
Yeah. So I would do my interview. I would send it to him, and he would put everything together, edit it, mix it down, and send it back to me. And then finally, one day he was going from one state, moving to a different state, and he was just too busy. And I wasn't going to say, hey, here's my episode, put it together. He's in the middle of moving. So I thought, I can do this. and it was a little choppy in the beginning, but I figured out how to do it, and now I do it all myself. But I went from having a show once a month to having it on the second and last Sunday of every month. And I have amazing people on my shows, such as yourself. And I have such an amazing circle of friends who talk about various experiences that they've had. So when I first started the show, I thought paranormal was just ghosts. But then I realized after a while, no, it's not just ghosts. It's UFOs, extraterrestrials, missing time. It just, the list goes on and on. So I broadened the topics, and, you know, near-death experiences. It's just amazing. And 9 times out of 10, my guests, even though I didn't know them, we become really, like, we just connect, and we've kept friendships over the years, which is amazing. So
Yeah, it works that way sometimes.
it does, yeah. Sometimes I just have them on my show and we don't hear anything from each other ever again. Other people, we chat almost daily. But it's nice to know that the reason why I wanted to put the show out is because I wanted to let people know that the experiences they're having, they're not alone. Other people across the world are having the same thing. So it helps with their stress, with their PTSD. I mean, as an investigator, I've seen families broken up because one of the parents had an experience and the spouse doesn't believe them, and the kids don't know what's going on. And it's terrible to see people go through this, but they're not alone. If they can find a safe spot to talk about their experiences, it really helps them out a lot. So that's why I wanted to start the show.
It does. And just so I told you a long time ago, but you know, it's still the same way as far as mine goes, as far as Kelly goes. You know, 90% of the time she don't believe a damn thing either.
Yeah.
But I don't care if she don't believe it. I just tell her about it, and it goes in one ear and out the other. And well, you know, unless she sees it too, you know. I think the last time we witnessed something together was before I knew what Starlink was, when it first started going on. And it's like we saw this great big long strip of pearly, and I thought it was UFOs, and Kelly standing there with me.
A lot of people did.
And she thought it was UFOs too. And then I find out, what was it? I don't know, several weeks later, that, oh yeah, those are the satellites that dumbass put up there. And it's like, okay, now I feel stupid.
I think pretty much the majority of people who didn't know thought the same thing. We saw it over my little town here, and everybody thought, oh my, what is this? And then I Googled it, and then I realized it was Starlink, and I thought, oh, I feel like a dumbass.
Yeah, I did. I called myself a dumbass, but then I called myself a dumbass about 5 times a day anyway. So it's nothing new. So anyway, what's going on with your show nowadays?
Nowadays, I still have a whole bunch of guests lined up. Just have to find the time to record. And I'm also trying to get, so anyone who's listening or watching this, I'm also trying to get people to send me their stories for me to narrate on the show as well. I'm trying to have a little segment. It could be like 10 minutes or so.
Didn't you do one of my stories?
I did. Yes, I did.
Which one was that? Random Stat?
I can't remember which one it was. I have a horrible memory. But yes, you did send one. Actually, I think you sent 2.
Did I?
I think so.
I didn't hear either one. I know. I think I heard one. I don't think I heard the second one.
Okay. I could be mistaken, but I thought you were sending 2, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and take a look. But yeah, it could be anything paranormal, creepy, like creepy camping experiences. Have you ever heard of shows like Darkness Prevails and things like that? Well, I kind of want to do something like that at the beginning of my show. Anyone who has had anything that really creeped them out, send me your experience and I'll be happy to narrate it. I can either mention your name or not mention your name.
Well, yeah. So anyway, most important question about this one is, where do we find your show there, dear?
So I release it primarily on Podbean and YouTube. So I make a little video for YouTube. And after it's released on Podbean, you can find it on Apple, Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts.
Just about anywhere you can find it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. We did that kind of fast.
We did.
Way faster than I thought we were going to do that.
I know.
So I will do this.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. I got it.
Ta-da! I can't wait to get my copies in the mail.
Yeah. This one is going on the wall inside of frame.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
As you know, your first book, I bought 2 of them, one for me to read, and I read it in like, a day and a half, I think, or 2 days.
That's what you said.
And then I donated the other one to my library. So then I did the same with this one. I ordered 2. It's on the way. So one will be for me, and the other one will be for my local library. So you could say you're international because you've had people in Canada.
There's at least one book in another country. Yay! Okay, well, I guess we got this done. And thank you for everybody who was here listening and watching. You out there watching the stuff is the most important thing about the show. And for Word Peddler Magazine, I got that right this time. They're the ones that host the show. And for DJ Cooper, who owns the Word Peddler and all that kind of stuff. You all have a good one. And until next time, we will see you. Bye.